What happens when you stop overgiving? I am noticing this becoming more and more common. There are so many wonderful men out there who give and do so much for others. And you guys don't ask for much or if anything in return. And I'm telling you guys this because you're getting hurt because of this. You need to cut it back if possible and prioritize yourself. So deep down, you probably already know this, but the true dynamic of the relationship that you have with that other person when you stop overgiving is exposed. You'll see what the relationship actually is when they're not benefiting from you. And there's unfortunately a lot of people out there who are flat out users. I've fallen into this trap many times myself. That person may pull away from you completely, or they'll say stuff like, "You've changed," or try to guilt you, or try to get you to feel bad for them. They'll start bringing up their issues. But at any point, did they stop to ask how you're feeling? How are you doing? Are you okay? And if they do ask, do they genuinely mean it? Or is it just kind of like a, "How are you today?" "Oh, really? Okay, that's cool. Anyways, about me." Because I've noticed some of those people that use others will pull crap like that. So they pretend and they give you little breadcrumbs where it's like, "Oh yeah, I care about you." But the second they get a chance to revert the conversation back to themselves, they do it. So the hardest part about overgiving is you almost go through like a withdrawal phase because that's what you're used to. Your nervous system will be screaming at you when you're not texting first, when you're not making plans, when you're not initiating. You might feel totally off, like you're doing something wrong. You may feel guilty because you are using that effort to control the security of that relationship. So when it starts to falter because you're not doing all the work, that can be scary because you realize the relationship is starting to fall apart, all because you're not subsidizing the entire thing. That person never actually was reciprocating. They were enjoying the fruits of your labor. And it can feel like a loss of control because you don't know how the other person's fully going to react. And luckily there are good people out there where you stop, doing stuff for them and they genuinely care and they start initiating more and it starts to become more balanced. But just because it feels bad in this moment doesn't mean it is bad. But healthy people will often do their best to fill the gap. And sometimes they won't be capable, to be fair, but you'll see an effort. But those other people that might have been using you will accuse you of things. You're being distant. You're not trying anymore. Well, you never were trying. What? This will make you mad because you spent the entire relationship over functioning. They did nothing and they still expect everything from you. Nothing you say or do in these moments can change their mind. You're better off walking away and avoiding them because they just want access to you. They want access to the benefits they have from you. And you might be thinking, well, I don't know what access they're actually getting. Stop and really think about it. Sometimes when a person is using you, you don't fully see all the benefits they're getting until you really think about it. So maybe they only reached out when something was going on wrong in their lives and you're like, well, I didn't really pay to fix it or I didn't jump to fix it. But you might be giving them validation. You might be doing emotional labor for them. And that still counts. Do they do that for you? No? Also, sometimes when we overgive, it creates resentment within ourselves. Because if you're constantly paying, initiating, doing all the work in the relationship and they're not, eventually you start to notice that and you're like, okay, what the heck? So if you stop overgiving, even if you plan to keep that person in your life, maybe they're not actually using you, but you just overextend yourself all the time. You can slow that down a bit and then it kills off that resentment deep inside. It can help a lot. And in a healthy relationship, that other person will start to fill the gap automatically. They're like, okay, this isn't getting done. I need to start doing it. Or you can have a conversation about rebalancing the responsibilities and effort. That way you're not feeling overextended. Also, you quickly realize who actually values you because the people that care about you as a person will stick around. They'll come from a place of concern maybe initially because if they're used to you doing XYZ, they're going to be like, why'd they stop? Are they okay? Are they sick? They'll ask. They'll try to get data, whereas users often just vanish.